issues and a few things this morning, and I ended up watching in Jacques Fresco. Love me some brother Jacques. And oh man, it sent me down some avenues. I was watching Vice and uh got some interesting things that are going through my head right now. I'd like to share with people. Hold on. Let me get situated. I think we are up. All right. So we're up everywhere we need to be. How is everybody doing this morning? It's Friday. Friday. It is a good day of the week. It's the day of the week that we are all reminded we're not supposed to live this way. We're supposed to be happy, be free. But instead, we're locked into this forced labor type society that we seem to live in. I'm trying to do something. No, I'm not going to mess with it this morning. I wanted to try to merge some commentary from multiple platforms, but we'll attempt that at another time. So I woke up good this morning. I was watching some stuff. Oh man, it's crazy how everything links together. Everything, it was linking this morning. It's like everything was linking together, but I started off watching synthetic cannabinoids. Did y'all know they have synthetic cannabinoids? Now, of course, the pharmaceutical industry was working on them, but they have synthetic cannabinoids that are being made illegally, right? The illegal markets is a big issue in Britain. And I was kind of looking at that. And I don't want to go there too fast. We don't get there too fast. We're gonna kind of get there slow, connect the dots. But it made sense in my head, and the song came to mind. It's like we gotta like look at solutions, right? We gotta solve problems. My brain was vomiting up so much this morning between brother Jacques Fresco, the Venus Project, and synthetic cannabinoids and gun control and the decay of society and calamity. It was all coming together in my head. if we're trying to solve a problem, first you got to know what the problem is, and you got to start at the root of the actual problem, not the side effect. But if you don't actually know the root of the problem to solve, you'll never solve the problem. You will run around in circles. You'll be like the coyote chasing the road runner. There was a group had a song. What's the name of that song? They said, "Never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never get it." I can hit the high notes. It's Friday. I can hit the high notes. They sung SWV and In Vogue had that song. They sang that. If you don't actually know the problem, but you keep coming up with all these solutions, you will never get it. You will never solve the problem because you're not actually focused on the problem. You're listening to like these psychopathic talking points and you're blathering them on the internet. You're beating your friends over the head with them who are trying to talk about some truth, and you're never going to solve the problem because you don't actually know the problem. So it's like we have to be solution oriented. Who was a comedian? Kevin Hart. He said, let's be solution oriented. We got to be solution oriented. But first, you got to know the freaking problem. So we're going to talk about Jacques Fresco. We're going to talk about some synthetic drugs. And we're going to talk about some other stuff, too. Some crazy stuff I did as a kid. Oh, my God. We did crazy stuff as kids. Oh, my cousin is in the house this morning. Let me say hi to everybody. Say hi to my cousin Tyrant. Oh, it's fitting. You came in the room. It reminded me some crazy stuff we did when we were kids. So growing up, it's all linking together, y'all. Growing up, fireworks were illegal in Maryland, where I grew up. So as children, we used to go to Arkansas, where fireworks were legal. Oh my gosh. We used to have firework fights, man. We used to have, we had illegal fireworks all the time anyway. We didn't care about no laws. Man, what laws? Kids, where there's a will, there's a way. You know, Coyote, he got a damn rocket. He's chasing the road runner. Where there's a will, there's a way. People always going to figure out a way to do whatever they want. You got to fix people. Ignore the side effects and the tools of the side. So we used to go to, oh my gosh, we used to go to El Dorado, Arkansas. I remember one time stood out in my mind. We had a firecracker fight. We were shooting bottle rockets at each other. We had the Roman candles. We were shooting at kids on that side of the street. We were on this side of the street. I can't believe kids didn't go up on fire that they shoot. So you can ban fireworks, but the kids gonna find a way. I remember when we were kids, we went to the sporting goods store. I posted on it yesterday. We wanted blow darts. We were crazy kids. We did dangerous things, y'all, but we learned. We learned. We learned from the dangers and the things we did. We grew up at a time where you let kids make mistakes so they can figure out the mistakes, and then they learned the lesson. They never did it again. Now, mind you, you had to go to the hospital and got a little blood, boo-boo, you know. The good thing is nobody died. Nobody died. So we go to the sporting goods store, and you couldn't buy a blow dart gun because you had to be, I think, 18 to buy a blow dart gun. So we're like, all right, you know, listen, we're kids. Where there's a will, there's a way. We're going to figure it out. So we went and got PVC pipe. We got PVC pipe, and we didn't have enough PVC. I think we actually used one of them old metal brooms. They used to make the broom handles out of metal, and they were hollow on the inside. We took a nail, and we took a sheet of paper. I did origami as a kid, man. I love some origami. And we wrapped it around. I know, I was a real privileged little brat. I know. We wrapped it around the nail and taped it up so that it would catch the wind, and you stick it in the you stick it in the pipe, the PVC pipe or the broom handle, and you blow on it. We made our own blow darts. We didn't care nothing about y'all laws. You can make whatever laws you want. We were kids. We were innovative, innovation, automation, technology. Where there's a will, there's a way. And so the problem was they didn't fix the kids. We were crazy kids, so we always invented our own weapons. We didn't care what y'all wanted to sell. Y'all can make whatever laws you want. You stupid adults, we know how to get by it. I know, it's leading into gun control. I know. But before we get there, I don't want to get there because I don't want to talk about gun control. I want to talk about solutions. But because so many people are off fighting this side effect and they really think it's going to help something. Oh, we're going to beat the hell out the side effect. We're going to save kids. And really, why you the reason kids dying? Because you're beating the damn side effect and won't focus on the actual problem. So check this out. You know, I'm sorry. I'm off running my mouth. A lot of stuff was connecting in my head this morning. I won't even look at my thread. Things was coming out, vomit, just thoughts were coming out. I'm not even gonna look at it because I know people cussing at me. But let me see who we got this morning. We got Jennifer is in the house. Good morning, Jennifer, and good morning, Diane. What kind of trouble? My kind of trouble is the most fun. I don't know. I might disappear, Diane. One day somebody else gonna have to step up. Elaine. Good morning, Buddha, Brother Harley. Already know about the Venus Project, and we're going to have to get to the Venus Project. We got to talk solutions. Renee, good morning, and Mandy. Cousin Tyron is in the house. Mandy, Marilyn. All right, Brother Wayne and Jerome and Jasmine and Deborah. Sherry and Nora and Tom, Rod, and Drew. Okay, we got enough people. I think we got a quorum. We can talk about a few things this morning. So that's what I was thinking about. I was thinking about the Road Runner. And I was thinking how Coyote, he was always coming up with ways. He never caught the Road Runner, but he was always coming up with ways. He was an innovator. Great analogy, but also for a great root cause solving analogy as opposed to side effect. But also think about how the Road Runner never got caught. Never got caught. Because the coyote didn't understand the crux of the root cause problem. He was a damn coyote and he was dumb. And the Road Runner was a hell of a lot smarter. Coyote should have went for some rabbits. He should have went for some squirrels. He should have went for some things that are within his toolkit. And I think as the 99%, all we seem to do is chase side effects because the talking points handed down are always solutions based on a problem never going away because the politicians handing down the talking points work for the corporations that the problems make a lot of money for. That's number one. And number two, I was thinking like politics. Anyway, politics is like an art form. Politics. It's an art form of getting 99% of the people on both sides fighting each other while politicians on both sides loot everybody. Usually they did it with their railroader friends, the railroad tycoons and the plantation masters, the colonizers, the cotton industries and the wheat and all the things they used to rob from poor third world countries. But now it's big pharma. You know, now it's the NRA. Now it's big chemical companies and the big military industrial complex. Nothing's changed. It's the exact same thing. So listen, let me show you how this kind of started off. This started off, I was looking at, oh man, I love Vice documentaries. I was looking at a Vice documentary and it was talking about Britain. So they got this problem with synthetic cannabinoids, and cannabinoids are what you find in cannabis, right? There are a couple hundred different types of cannabinoids. THC is the one that you get high with. And so synthetic drugs have been on the street for a long time. So they were using synthetic drugs all over Britain, everywhere else. They use them everywhere. But I want to kind of walk you through what I saw. I'm going to show you a little piece of clip of this, and I'll post all the links. You can watch the whole thing. I recommend it. But it's a problem, but they're doing the same thing. They're acting like some damn coyotes. Listen to this for a second. So first, he's talking about how dangerous and how powerful they are as a drug, that they're getting people actually off of heroin. Listen to this.
Worried though that it might start criminalising people?
Yes, I've seen some bad. You've got to look at this drug. It's bringing heroin addicts. I know a heroin addict that's a spice head now that takes spice like he used to take heroin every single day of the week. But he doesn't touch the heroin now. So if that heroin at a Class A drug and the spice is bringing him off that, what is in this stuff? It's amazing.
The Misuse of Drugs Act controls substances on the basis of their structure. The banned cannabinoid in weed is THC. Synthetic cannabis, like spice, mimics the effects of weed by replicating and slightly altering the chemical that gets people high. Legal high manufacturers design cannabinoids and constantly update the composition of their products so that they remain within the law. But these experiments can leave the user smoking a legal version of weed that can be 100 times stronger.
All right, we're gonna stop there. So try to explain what he talked about. So first of all, the young gentleman on the street who is very familiar with this, always go to professionals on a topic if you want to understand what's going on. He explained that cannabis is nothing compared to synthetic cannabinoids, synthetic cannabis compounds, because they were so powerful that they were actually getting people off of heroin. Like the heroin addicts were so addicted, and you know, the only way you can upgrade to a stronger drug or another drug, it has to be stronger. So they're flipping out on heroin, but when they try cannabis, the synthetic cannabis, they go nuts and they throw away the heroin because this is even a better high, you know? And so so the approach to solving the problem was, instead of fixing the people, instead of fixing the society, figuring out why the hell they're on drugs anyway, going to a resource-based economy, resource-based society, they decided we're gonna make the cannabinoid structure illegal. And they did. And guess what? The synthetic companies, okay, that's fine. Because when you synthesize something, all you're doing is shifting the shape of it. You're kind of shifting where the elements are, and you're just making a slightly different compound. So the compound's perfectly legal, and so they sell it. And you can make the next one illegal, and then they'll make a new one. And you can make that one illegal, and they'll make a new one. And so this constant thing of chasing your tail where you never solve a problem. Kind of sounds like gun control, where you're always chasing something, but you never solve the problem. It sounds like big pharma, where you're chasing the side effects, but you never actually solve the problem. So people are making big money on getting the vast majority of people to get behind ideas that will never work. You can ban blowguns. Guess what? We're gonna make our own. You can ban fireworks. Guess what? We're gonna make our own. I'm gonna keep going, because we have a systemic problem with critical thought in our world. And it's not just America, but it's every country. It's not an American thing. There's an issue when it comes to critical thought on the side of the 99%. So let me go over here. I'm not sure.
I knew nothing about
I got it queued up the way I want it to. I always like to show these little silly commercials, but it's the same problem. And it's not that the liberals are wrong with gun control. Well, it is. They're totally wrong with it. Completely wrong. Just lost. Completely lost. Never will solve the problem. Never will reduce anything. But the other side is messed up too. I'm gonna see if I have this queued up, because there was two politicians talking, and one, oh, you'll definitely recognize one of them. But you know, they were essentially talking about gun control, and it was the same illogical approach to fighting synthetic cannabis as what we just saw in the UK. They're actually trying to make an object illegal, not fix the people, not fix the society that created the people, but the people aren't going to find an innovative way to go about it. So, where are we at? Let me see. I want to show you. Nope, I didn't cue that one up, but I queued this one up. So there's always innovative ways to do something, right? People will always, if the people are broken, they will always figure out a way. I'm gonna show you something else. Actually, I'm gonna show you something happy. I was thinking of something happy. People will always figure out a way, no matter what you ban. And this is my point, is that banning things will never work. So in my long time, oh, this was a long time ago I did. I'm kind of crazy. I don't know if y'all know this. Don't tell me I can't do something. I'll do it. Let me show you this. Long time ago. So in my township, this was oh, when was this? I think I did this video back in, it was like 8 years ago, something like that. But anyway, back in my township, it was illegal to have wind turbines. You know me, man, forget y'all. Y'all crazy out your mind. I don't care what y'all say. I'm gonna do what I want. This is sustainability. We're gonna save the world, you bastards. And so I looked out there, and so apparently it was kind of stiff, the fines. I think, what do I do? I can make a wind turbine. I can stand it up in the air, make it lay down. I can put it up at nighttime, just put it up in the wind where people can't see it. So I can have a wind turbine, make electricity, save the world. And I stumbled onto a Vault wind turbine. I was like, oh, they have a Vault wind turbine. What is a Vault wind turbine? Vertical access wind turbine. Vertical access. So it's not standing up, right? They got this big lie that they like to tell people that wind turbines kill birds, right? The power companies get behind these lies. They build up this grassroots movement, and people say, oh, we got to save the birds, save the birds, save the birds. And so they ban wind turbines. People don't give a damn about birds. They came up with these ideas that, oh, wind turbines are noisy. They can fall down and kill people. Meanwhile, it's never been documented in history that every wind turbine ever fell down and killed anybody. But so we can't put them in our townships. And so they banned them all. But they get a bunch of 99% lost people behind these ideas. So anyway, I said, okay, I'm gonna make a vertical access wind turbine. Man, forget y'all. I don't care what y'all got to say. I'm gonna save the world. Went out on YouTube. YouTube, listen, Google, you can hate them all you want. YouTube is going to change the world. So I went out on YouTube, found this brother by the name of Muddy, what was his name? I forgot his name. I think his name was Muddy Mudbone. Mudbone, something like that. I sent it to you. And what he did, he had plans for how you take a ceiling fan and turn a ceiling fan into a wind turbine. Uh-oh, hold on. Man, people, I don't know why y'all like to just call me. I'm trying to save the world. Stop calling me. Yeah, there we go. Take it off vibrate. All right. So I'm going to save the world. So I made a vertical access wind turbine. The kids and I got together, got some PVC plastic, got some wood, real shoddy work. Just didn't measure anything. Just cut a bunch of wood, threw it together, took an old ceiling fan, broke it apart, put some rare earth magnets in it. And guess what we made? We made a vertical access wind turbine. Why? Because y'all made wind turbines illegal. And we said, screw y'all. I can't put up my middle finger. They already say I'm explicit, so I don't cuss, put up my middle finger. People see, that's right there. That's the wind turbine. That's the ceiling fan. That's the damn ceiling fan. And so we created power. And I forgot all the components, bought a few components online. But it's just basically rare earth magnets taking apart a ceiling fan and actually putting them with a certain distance. And the wind turbines, actually with the vertical access wind turbines, they catch a lot more air. And this was a day we were out there testing. And I think it was less than 8-mile-an-hour wind gusts. I mean, I think it gusted up to like 12 miles an hour, but it actually worked. Because we crazy, man. We in a society where energy costs money. We ain't paying nothing for no money. So what is my point? So that wind turbine got to flying. Like when the gusts really kicked up, this thing would fly. You couldn't even see it spinning around. It would go so fast. But anyway, and I live in an area where you can't have wind turbines because there's just absolutely no wind. Like it was just a horrible, horrible thing. But my point is innovation. People will always make something, right? And so this idea that you're going to save kids by banning guns is stupid as the day is long. And no, the Trump people aren't talking about it. I was talking about this one. Somebody they tagged the other day. How come the Trump people, if the gun grab came from Obama or Feinstein or Clinton, they be flipping out. How come they ain't flipping out when now Trump is doing the gun grab? 'Cause you heard what Trump said. Trump was like, oh, listen, we ain't doing due process. We're just going to take the guns. How come they're not flipping out? Well, I got some ideas, but maybe one might be that they're not the crazy deplorables you thought they were. Maybe they actually think a lot like you. Maybe they're actually intellectuals and not redneck hippie whatever people down in the jungle in the box in a bunker with a bunch of guns and ammo and grenades. Maybe they're just regular everyday people who just didn't like Hillary Clinton. Maybe. Or maybe some of them, they're not going to attack Trump. Maybe they're just going to leave it alone because they figure you already got it covered because you already got the hate going on for all the tweets that are coming out. So, but the thing is this, is that you build up so much hate on this side because you hated everything that came out of that man's mouth because he was Trump. And the other side hated everything that came out of Obama's mouth because he was Obama. And it creates these extreme, stupid tribes, right? So now you escalate something into something it should not be. So now Trump is going for a gun grab and no one's really talking about it. I don't think that, like I said, I know a lot of people who voted for Trump, and most of them I know, they don't even own guns. So like all the narratives you have about racism and guns and all, for number one, it's not even true. But number two, we've created a society that has so much hate on such extreme sides that people would turn on everything they believe in. And they'll let them go for a gun grab as long as the other side doesn't win. And my position, and like I said, all that is this. Number one, I'm not interested in anybody taking anybody else's rights. I'm righted out. I had civics class as a kid, and I'm sick to death of y'all fighting with each other, agreeing about taking more of my rights. I'm tired of them playing both of y'all against everybody because you're special. I didn't say stupid. I was going to say special. Start with an S too. So, but the point is, you can ban everything you like. If you don't fix people, they're going to get the synthetic drugs somewhere else. Another company is going to make them because they're profitable. You can ban, you can ban every gun that you want. Ban this gun and this stock and that stock and that. And you'll forget easily that they don't need to buy weapons from weapon makers. Hold on, let me show you this. Right about here. It's funny, like it's like the media news cycle is so short. And they totally forget the logic in their solutions that never work. Y'all remember this one, don't you? What was his brother's name? So why was I talking about muddy? Look at this.
That file is then sent to a 3D printer. The printer then builds the object in the CAD file by starting at the base and applying a series of layers. At the end of the process, a 3D printed item is born. So how will the ability to self-manufacture untraceable firearms affect the gun control debate? Motherboard traveled to Austin to get Cody Wilson's perspective.
So this is that brother that was 3D printing guns or parts for guns. I'm not gonna show the whole thing because I can't show the whole thing, but I'm gonna just show you part of it.
Connect printer that we've been using.
The point is this, that's a 3D
from
printer.
The very beginning.
Little education process. That's a 3D printer. With a 3D printer, you can print anything in 3D. And if you can print anything in 3D, anything you ban, it does not matter. All right, that's wrong. I know. I might go to hell for that one. All right, so with 3D printers, you can print any damn thing. This is why you focus on the root cause of the problem, not the side effect. Whatever you decide to ban can be printed in a 3D printer. I don't even know if they started now, but eventually they will be 3D printing compounds. So you can go compound after compound after compound after compound. They're going to print just outside of the law. You can go ban this gun and ban that gun, ban that gun. They'll take some 3D printing and say, oh, well, 3D printers are expensive. The kids can't afford them. You know that there are plans online to make 3D printers, don't you? Go out to YouTube. Look at it. In fact, did I got a copy of this? I'm just like show you how like ridiculous the ideas and the concepts people have. So let me see if I got an easy, quick, and simple one. How to make a 3D printer. That's all you got to do. Just go do a quick search. How to make it.
How much does Geico love saving
and
people?
we can show you that the $20 million you spend arguing, fussing and fighting for gun control over these politicians who making money selling books, going out to stadiums, you're donating your money, and you're rolling out a solution that just ain't ever gonna work. So I like this one, and I stopped on this one. Let me show you right about, hang on, I'm gonna show you right about here. Listen to this.
All right, let's sketch. The basic components we need to make a 3D printer are long strips of plastic called filament, a hot end device that can melt the filament, an extruder that pushes it through the hot end, and an X, Y, and Z axis that can move it around a plane. So how can we do this as cheaply as possible? Well, if you've been following along with my videos, I've already shown you how you can make an Arduino-controlled X, Y, and Z axis CNC machine using old CD-ROM drives and a desktop PC power supply. Assuming you could scavenge the desktop power supply and the drives, that whole project should have cost around $20 or less.
All right, we're gonna stop right there. I'll post it if you want to see how to do it. Okay, how simple it is. So what he's talking about is something called an Arduino. Arduino is just a very simple little piece of hardware with an operating system that all the kids have. You can buy them at all the Radio Shacks if they still have them. All the parts that he talks about are at your local Michael's or your Home Depot if you want to make a 3D printer. And the software to run the Arduino is very simple. To make the little 3D XY printing access is extremely easy. When I was a child, I did much more difficult things. I built an entire computer as a child. How old was I when I built my first computer? I think I was about 15. I knew I couldn't drive because my dad had to drive me to the computer show to get the parts to make the computer. I think I was about 14 or something. Went out to a website, used to be called tomshardware.com. And I think he might still be around. And he showed you how to make it. So the kids can go buy 3D printer parts, spend less than $200 or even less, and they can earn that in no time at McDonald's, wherever they want to work. And they can print their own guns. Right? It's a CAD design, and you can make your own, you can make your parts for the weapons. You can make your bump stocks, you can make your triggers. They can make anything they want. This is my point. Stop chasing your tail. Come up with solutions that actually work. Focus on the real problem. We have a, hold on, I got to move over. I'm going to shift over. We got a people problem in this world. Now, Brother Harley knows what I'm talking about. But we have real problems in this world, you guys. We need to listen to the people who are actually talking about the root cause of the problems. If you fix the people and you fix the society, you don't have to worry about the gun. You don't have to worry about the 3D printer. You don't have to worry about the synthetic cannabinoids because people won't want them. They won't need them. You know something real smart? So I'm over here at a house in front of the Venus Project. It's in Florida. Y'all should go visit the Venus Project. It'll bless you. He was a phenomenal thinker. I swear, I'm telling you, Jacques Fresco, he was a prophet. I'm gonna tell you right now, that man, if he didn't follow after Edgar Cayce and Nikola Tesla, that man back in '74, I posted a little lecture he had, or interview he had with Larry King, back when Larry King had hair and stuff. I ain't not like, yeah. He talked like he was a normal human being, but you know, back for all that, cigarettes got to him. Don't smoke cigarettes, y'all. It's not good for you. I know it's cool and it's sexy. You can sit back and do this. Don't do it. There's synthetic stuff in there. They're gonna kill you too. Don't leave it alone. So, but back when Larry King, back when he could talk, great interview. You gotta watch it. But I don't even think Jacques Fresco knew what a genius he was. But he explained very clearly back in the 70s when nobody listened that we had the technology back then to make sure everybody had a house, had a car, had a food, had a place to live, has water, has all the basic simple things to keep kids from flipping the hell out, wanting to make blow darts, wanting to make fireworks and shoot them at people, wanting to make we even made the little hand rocket things with we made bow and arrows, man. These kids gonna print all the guns they want and there's nothing you can do to stop them. If there is a will, there is a way. They're gonna keep chasing after it just like the coyote until they get what they want. It's so much easier and cheaper to simply fix people, fix our society, as opposed to trying to chase our tail and always fight the world by going after side effects, you know? So what Jacques Fresco talked about is something called Sociocyber-engineering. And that's basically, it's taking automation, taking very old, not even new technology, you guys, not even cutting edge, talking about very old technology that was very well known back in the 70s, and at very low cost, making sure everybody had a place to live, using automation to solve the problems of humanity, to solve the things that keep us wild. Like I was trying to explain to a brother yesterday, a good brother of mine. Y'all see Tony on the thread every now and then. He gets a little excited sometimes. Love him to death, though. I know y'all go back and spar with him. I don't spar with him. I don't too well. I just say something, I'm done. I'll let y'all keep going. But, you know, this idea that man is wild is a lie. Man is not wild. Man is not prone to violence. Man is not, everybody you know, I guarantee you, most people you know has never murdered anybody. Most people you know, they've never even shot a gun at anybody. Most people you know, they've never stabbed anybody. Humans are not violent creatures. This idea is a lie. How do I know? By basic, simple facts, outside of the professionals who explain how we evolved wild and what wild is, but from the simple point that most human beings on this planet, out of 7 billion people, most people never killed anybody. The vast majority of people never hurt anybody to that level where they got to go to a hospital. Except for me once. I did once. I'm bad. I didn't murder nobody. No, I'm not saying that. I didn't murder nobody. But we had these things we were kids, they called jumping jacks. Oh man, we got in trouble with fireworks. Maryland didn't know what they were doing. Maryland is stupid. And I don't live in Maryland no more. I can talk about them all I want. Maryland, dumb as a bag of bricks. They figured they'd ban fireworks and so kids wouldn't have them. So all we did, we go see our uncles, we go see our cousins in Arkansas. Man, Arkansas had the good fireworks, boy. They had the Japanese stuff, the stuff that just blow up, scare the hell out of everybody, fire, shoot out every. So we go there and get it. And we couldn't do that. We go to Virginia and get it. But where there's a will, there's a way. And so anyway, long story, put a jumping jack in some kid. I put a jumping jack in my shoe and I fire shot out on one side and I was dancing around like a kid, like fire shooting out my shoe. I was dancing around, fire spraying out. I'm like, yeah, you know, and this other kid saw it, like, I'm gonna do it too, you know, and so he grabbed one. Oh man, I got in trouble for this one. Oh man, my father, he took the belt out. But anyway, so the kid went, unfortunately, there were 2 different type of jumping jacks. There was one that had a hole on one side with a fire shootout, and there's the other kind that had 2 holes. One shot out the top, one shot out the bottom. And he put one in his foot and one pointing at the top, but the other was pointing at his toe. Woo! Boy, you never see somebody run so fast in his life. But he lit that firework. Not funny. It's not funny. Totally not funny. Shoe caught on fire, burnt part of the kid. He had some burn on his foot. He was okay though, but my father had to pay his medical bills. I got beat. Oh, I got beat. Oh, did I get beat? I got a beat. But you know what? And I know people sitting back saying, oh, well, your father, he wasn't supposed to beat you. Hell no. That man was supposed to beat me. Listen, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to warn you right now. I'm going to warn you. There's only one thing that prevents me from robbing you right now. I can have a gun in your face, right? I can 3D print a gun, have a gun in your face. The only reason I'm not doing that is because of this little leather belt thing that my father had. It was a strap, had a big old buckle on it, and he used to take it across my butt. I'm not telling people to do that. That is not my goal. You got to raise your kids how you want to raise your kids. But I'm telling you, you may not be around because I could have already murdered you and took what you had if my father didn't push me in the right directions. I think I might, I don't know. Sometimes the way I go after the deep state, I might be a psychopath. Who the hell would go after these people? But so anyway, where there's a will, there's a way. People will always find a way. So focus on the problems. Don't focus on the side effects. Keep going. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna go over to something delicious here. Like, you madman, I'm never gonna watch you again. You put a firework in some kids. Listen, I was a kid. We did dumb things, y'all. We used to make these big ramps and jump them with bikes 5 feet in the air. People fall, kids land on the head, break all kind of neck troubles and problems. I don't know how we made it. But the funny thing is we lived and survived. And we learned, damn it, the ramp too high. We didn't ban ramps for BMX bikes. We let the kids do it. Hurt yourself. I remember one day, I'm telling stories, but I remember one day, this is what I'm trying to tell you. You can't stop this stuff. The township didn't want us to put bike ramps out. We didn't give a damn. We put the bike ramps out. We used to go to the golf course. We used to go get golf balls in the ponds and sell them to the golfers. Made a lot of money doing that, but that was some slavery. My brother, he was a slave owner. My older brother, he used to send me out there like a little slave to sell golf balls to the golf. Didn't tell me it was big alligator snapping turtles in the pond, but we go down in the pond and get them, sell them back to the golfers. And but when the man in the green truck came, there's a man with a green truck. When he came around, we knew to run on a golf course. You're not going to stop people by telling them no. And so they said, no, you can't have no ramps. We made these big old ramps. Man, I jumped off this big old ramp one day, put a bunch of tires underneath it, landed on my bike, just eyes moving because I went down the hill. Like I wasn't like a normal kid. Something was wrong in my head. Most of the kids, they would just ride, go over the ramp, they go up and go down. I was like, hell no, I want airtime. You know, this is why I don't mind the Dixie flag, y'all. Dukes of Hazzard. They used to jump all the time, man. I used to watch that as a kid. I got my bike. I went to the top of the hill, but we gonna fly. I believe I can fly. I went down that hill, man. I was, hit the ramp, boom, up in the air. Ramp went this way. I went that way. The bike went that way. Hit the ground, slid on the concrete for like 40 feet. Oh my God, I don't know how I'm still alive, but I got up, man. I'm just looking at my knee. I didn't see any skin. It was just cartilage. I'm looking at all this white stuff like, what the hell is that? Look down, next thing you know, you see the red blood of the veins starting to come out, and it's the white meat started to turn red. I should have died a long time ago. I'm just gonna let you know, kids will be kids. We were raised to have fun, and so that's what we did. You weren't gonna stop us with your laws. If poor children are raised to survive, that's what they're gonna do. If they're raised and they become psychopaths, which is what the neuroscientists and the behavioral scientists keep telling us that we don't seem to want to listen to. If they have those warrior genetics and they don't have the fear, they have low empathy, they have high aggression, they're going to make the gun. They're going to buy the gun. They're going to get the gun. The gun is going to be there, and your government doesn't give a damn because that's why they got the war on drugs and 90% of the guns on the street anyway. So even the ones that you grab, it doesn't matter. They're going to go online, they're going to go to the library, buy a book, talk to a friend, and if they really, really want to have an automatic weapon, they're going to make it. You can't stop them. That's my point. And I think if you think about your childhood as a kid, you'll probably see the same thing. What was the first thing you wanted to do? What you were told not to do. And then you were going to go do it. So why not fix society instead of fix people? So I love Jacques Fresco. I think it's venusproject.org or venusproject.com if you want to see him. But if you want to kind of get some short blibbits, I'll sit down and I'll watch a lecture for a long time because I love learning things, you know, Jacques Fresco lectures. But if you want to get little bite-sized chunks, he's got tons of videos. I'll post some today. I'll post some of his quotes today. But their whole point was taking old automation back in the 70s, creating communities. Let me see if I can find a picture too. Creating communities and manufacturing things in an automated fashion where they had no cost, right? So taking automation, massive robots. Say, oh, well, we can't make massive robots to do anything. They're already making them. Have y'all not seen the videos? Have you not seen what the robots can do? You know, have you not seen how we're murdering and killing people with robots all over this world? We can make robots to do whatever we want. And this is the fun thing I love about automation and development and engineering and robotics, software. This is my topic because this is my profession. This is what I know. I know y'all thought I was a crazy plant growing somebody. Nope, this is what I know. I've been programming software since I was 6 years old. So everything that he talked about can be done. There is no question. You can automate the building of apartment buildings. You can automate building houses. We talked about it a long time ago. The brother in Japan, there's one actually, I think it's in Canada or America too, where they have 3D printers and they're printing houses. So we know we can print. We know we can take care of people, and we know that no, the left is wrong. You don't give people a fish. And I think the right is wrong too. You don't have to really teach them to fish, but we can have robots make automatic fish, and aren't they printing meat now? we can have automation to print your beef and we can print the seasoning in it. And I won't ever eat it because that's going to be the nasty stuff on the planet. It might taste good, and if it does, it'll kill you. But the point is, we can have automation make all of this. We just refuse to stop our government from using all the automation to murder people. That's really what it comes down to. It comes down to the fact that automation is being deployed left and right. We can be making, look at this. We can, and these are some of his drawings, some of his art. You should go out to the website and check them out. But we can make massive communities on the ocean in an automated fashion where they don't cost anybody any damn thing. And even if there is some cost initially, they say, well, how are we going to pay for it? How do you think we pay for war? They can print all the money they want. You know, it's the same lie about healthcare. And so this was a thinker well ahead of his time. He had all the designs for automating the creation of boats, cars, houses, how the community would actually look. I mean, he put all this thought and work into it, and we let the man die. We let the man die without deploying a society and a culture that would be based in abundance and a resource-based economy that is what's behind its lack is why these kids are shooting everybody up. It's why people feel the need for assault rifles, because all the automation is used to make the weapons it goes to governments to kill people. Try to focus on the actual problem. The problem is our society, but we don't elect any leaders who want to fix the problem. We elect leaders and we hand them to corporations and they do what the corporations want. So no automation is used for preserving human life. It's only used for taking human life. And Brother Harley, I'm trying to look at the comments too at the same time. I want to get through this. I have one more thing I want to talk about, then we'll do full discussion. But so Brother Harley's talking about there's no perfect utopia though. And there's not. And you're spot on, brother. You already know what I'm talking about. People are fighting and say, well, you're talking about a utopian society and there's, you know, utopia is not possible. Nobody said that any society was utopian. It'll never be. There'll always be challenges. But you know what's worse than like not moving to a utopia or moving in that direction and solving those problems is staying right the hell where we are. Watching kids get shoot up in schools, staying where we are, watching people starve in Yemen, staying where we are, watching kids in Haiti eating mud cakes. Like I was thinking about this morning, you realize the same damn reason kids in Haiti eat mud cakes are the same reason that kids in the United States are shooting up schools? It's called artificial scarcity. The same corporations that are flooding weapons on the street, the same corporations that are flooding drugs, the synthetic ones on the street, the same corporations that are forcing you to not take your medication, your natural medications that don't cause the side effects, that flip people out, that cause them to do these shootings, the same corporations that are selling the weapons, the same corporations that are selling the weapons to the government to give to other countries, the same corporations are behind all of it. And the more and more I think about it, the less and less I think corporations can exist. I don't think they can exist, you know, because then it's not that corporations are bad. It's just that we created money and we had no idea what it was for. We had no idea. And people can look around in the West and say, yeah, but you know, money's got us a lot of things. It's brought us forward. Yes, it has, on pushing other people down. And that's one of my mainstays is don't talk to me about slavery if you're in the West, because your whole lifestyle is based on slavery. You just don't see the slavery because your government doesn't publish it to you. It's in the third and fourth world countries and the ones they bomb back to the third world. So we know we can have all of this. I'd show one more thing, and then we can talk about the Venus Project, because a lot of people, I don't think they really understood what he was talking about. He wasn't talking about a utopia. He was talking about taking the next step in evolution. That's what he was talking about. He was talking about the fact that, you know, only uncivilized people need laws, police, military, government, violent solutions. Only those people, only uncivilized people need those things. Did I just say government? Yes, I did. Am I an anarchist? I don't even know what that is, to be honest with you. What I am? I'm a person who looks at where we've come from and where we probably got to get to. And if this thing called government for a little while was amazing in bringing technology forward and making peace in certain areas so we can get to a point where we got computers and the internet and figure out where we freaked out and where we went wrong, looking back at the ancients, the gift-based societies and the resource-based that actually worked. And we can look at capitalism, socialism, and communism and anarchism and all of this, and then put all this stuff together. It's our job, and we thank government for that. I do. But it's our job, now that we have all of that information and we know where they effed up, to un-eff it. Because the world is effed. And it's our job to free our people all over the world, the rest of the 7 billion, by un-effing it. We know what the problems are. The problems are too many people in the 99% are always focused on side effects, not the root causes of the problem. Fix the people, fix the culture, fix the society on ancient technology, basically. Ancient technology. Automation and robotics. Oh my, we were doing this stuff as kids. It's just, it boggles my mind that anyone thinks that it's a utopia. It's not. It's just the next step. But we can't be scared to take the next step. One thing I was going to show you, I can't get too serious. That will have a little fun. Oh, goodness. Ancient technology. That's a Stargate. Y'all, they got Stargates, man. I'm trying to get in the Stargate, get the hell out of there. And that is a Sphinx. That's a million-year-old Sphinx. I don't care what you say. I don't know if it is. But let me show you. I want to show you this. Hey, here it goes. This is what I want to show you. This is my fun one for the day. You know what these are? These are wheels in granite stone. Wheels. Wheel tracks. Who the hell was driving that car? What the hell was in the car that made it so heavy that it went right through stone? Think about that for a minute. You think that there was no ancient technology before we got here, that we didn't just screw up and land here because we always voting some kings and lords to run every damn thing, because we always get lost in this. I think it's a social illness. It's a social illness. It's this idea that we need lords and kings, that we need government. It's a symptom of Stockholm. Like, it has to be a symptom of Stockholm syndrome that people keep thinking we need governments. I think government is there for a period of time to help us get to a certain level. Then we got to move beyond it. A civilized society doesn't need that. And so anyway, there's some tracks behind us. They're millions of years old, y'all. I think they said 25 million years old. Somebody was driving around in something 25 million years old. I know you look at it and say, well, what I was thinking about the last time I talked about this one was Pompeii. I was thinking about Pompeii, because if you look at Pompeii, and this is what I was debating myself, in Pompeii, there actually are tracks that are in stone, but they were made by wooden carts that went in the same exact track over and over and over and over. And of course, each track would take a little dust, little dust, little dust, and it would erode it after a while. I was thinking, well, that's what could have happened. But if you look at some of these tracks, and it was a Russian scientist, what is his name? Alexander Koltivin. I'll post a link. Y'all can look at it. Call me crazy if you like. But the actual tracks aren't in a city. They aren't guiding the tracks down the same road. You don't have an axle maker making the exact same track, the exact same size of wheel to go down the road. These are tracks all over Europe, all over the place. You got tracks in stone. There's some aliens here, y'all, a long time ago, or they were just really Atlantean humans, and they had vehicles that could just drive, and it would cut through stone as they were collecting whatever. Anyway, all right, that's silly. It's not silly, but to me, it's all connected. All right, I'm gonna look at the comments. Let me let Jacques introduce you to cyber social engineering, and then we're gonna do some discussion. I'll go through the comments. I'm gonna try to spend a little extra time going through comments this morning. So that's the kind of the basis of this. So I know I messed it up. Sociocyber-engineering was what he called it, and what it basically is, it's automating society so we don't raise kids who want to murder each other. We raise kids that are raised the right way with love and abundance. You don't get kids who want to go 3D print guns because silly people ban the weapons and they'll use them to shoot other people and shoot up schools. So hold on, here we go right here.
And this is his inventor, the extraordinary Jacques Fresco. He's my guest this weekend on
I posted if you want to see the whole thing this morning.
My guest is an extraordinary Miamian, Dr. Jacques Fresco. I could go through all the things that Dr. Fresco has done. He's a social engineer, industrial engineer, designer, inventor, consultant, was a consultant for Rotorcraft Helicopter, director of Scientific Research Laboratories, Los Angeles, designed and copyrighted various items, ranging from drafting instruments to X-ray units. Has had works published in the Architectural Record, Popular Mechanics, Saturday Review, and has been a technical and psychological consultant to the motion picture industry, member of the Air Force Design and Development Unit at Wright Field, developed the electrostatic anti-icing systems, designed prefabricated aluminum houses. What does it say in your driver's license? What is the occupation?
Industrial designer.
Jacques, you...
Social engineer.
Does it bug you that people, when they talk about Jacques Fresco in Miami, say that he's someone who's too far ahead of his time? His thinking is, we're not ready for advanced kind of thinking, of that type. Does it bug you?
I imagine every creative person in every field encounters that sort of problem. No, it doesn't. I can't afford it. There's too many things that are important.
What is Sociocyberneering?
Sociocyberneering is a new organization, and it represents the application of the most sophisticated forms of science and technology toward problem solving so that we can reclaim the environment which we loused up over the years, and to build a way of life worthy of man, to humanize society, to break away from the artificiality, the regimentation that dominates our society today. Our society seems torn apart and pulled in many directions. Socio-cyberneering is an approach at the restructuring of society in humanistic terms.
Humanistic terms, yeah.
Yes.
The times I spoke...
I'm going to stop there. Restructuring of society in humanistic terms. I'm not going to show the whole thing, obviously. I just want to show one last cut, because every time I talk about Jacques Fresco or the Venus Project, I always get to go, who's going to pay for it? How are we going to pay for it? I'm going to take you to a part where he explains about who's paying for it. You know, and this is before we even knew that we were printing money for war and we can pay for any damn thing we want. But once again, politicians are there just to keep stupid people fighting with other stupid people. No, it's to keep poor people fighting with other poor people. Look, I'm going to go to where Larry King had asked his question. Hold on.
All of the certificates of debt and all of the land ownership, all of the diamonds and rings, and dumped it off the coast of Japan. As long as you didn't touch the American way of thinking, our technology, and our resources, we would not be impoverished at all. America's wealth is not its gold, is not its banking institutions. These are false institutions, that the entire money-structured and materialistic-oriented society is a false society. 10 or 15 years from now, our society will go down in history as the lowest development in man. We have the brains, the know-how, the technology, and the feasibility to build an entirely new civilization.
You believe that we teach competition, that it's not bred into someone?
Competition is dangerous, socially offensive, considered right and normal, because you are brought up to that value system. What kind of competition did Jesus have?
I'm gonna stop right there. Stop right there. I always like to stop on the Jesus part, but so he kind of explained the whole point that, you know, we live in this competition-based society. In terms of money and paying for it, we have all the money to pay for it. This whole monetary-based currency society, it's false and it's fake, and it's designed to take money from poor people, which is what it does very, very well. Let me shift back to the Venus Project, and I'm just going to do some commentary. So everything we have, it's really all based in some lies. It's all really based in some lies. We can pretty much have the society we want. We can make things so much better for these kids. We can hand them a planet that's cleaner, safer. We can hand them a government that's safer. We can hand them a life where they wake up in the morning and they decide and go do what they want to do. Like, one of the things I don't get, why do you care what other people do? I don't understand that. Like they got that term hobo. If somebody wants to wake up in the morning and go to the tractor pull and drink beer, why do I care? If somebody wants to wake up in the morning, sit around and play video games in their underwear, why do I have to force my lifestyle on them? If somebody wants to wake up in the morning, go sit under a tree or go pick apples, why do I care? If somebody wants to wake up in the morning and go make an automated solution for making a different type of house because they want to live in something that looks a little different, like me, because that's what I love to do. Why would anybody care about that? Why do we all have to be forced into a cubicle cotton picking field? Like, why do you care if we're not paying for it, right? Automation and our ancestors, because they're the ones who really paid the price. I don't care what anybody says today. Our ancestors who invented all this technology that they lie about with the patents, they invented all of this. They paid the price. A lot of them paid for the price with their lives. Why do we care? Why do you care so much to force people to be like you? So bums go get a job. Why? Why? Because you're indoctrinated to think that that's what people are supposed to do. That's not what people are good at. Robots are good at doing job. Softwares are good at doing job. You don't believe me? Let's stay where we are. And in 30 years, when your job is gone, because I don't care what you do, I'm going to tell you right now, as a software engineer and a robotics engineer, all I need is a little bit of time and just to watch what you do. With the invention of modern technology, of step motors and actuators, I can automate you out of a job. And there are thousands, there are tens of thousands of me's right now working for these corporations that are automating you exactly out of what you do right now. So let's keep fighting on the other side. Let's keep fighting with each other. And let's see where this actually goes. It's not going to end anywhere good. Let me see. Mom, oh, we go back to the thing with the belt mark. Mama with a mama with a belt. Oh, I'm traumatized, PTSD, ADHD. Yeah, no, we weren't allowed to have no ADHD. All these acronyms. My mother whipped it right the hell out of me. I didn't have it because grandma took it out. I had some ADHD. I couldn't sit still. I was always jumping around, dancing, want to talk, act crazy, silly in class. And teacher called home. That ADHD, that got cured. I got home. They cured the hell out of it. We weren't allowed to have those things, like the food sensitivities and the allergies kids have. We weren't allowed to have those. You got home, mom said, eat. You ate, and if your cough, choke, broke out in the blue bumps, whatever, okay, the first time. Second time, your immune system, white blood cells, macrophages start to figure it out, like, okay, this is how we break this stuff down. It comes in the corn. Okay, then you get as many blue bumps the next time, and then the next time, y'all don't want to eat it, mama, I don't want to eat it. Sit down, eat your food. Eat your food. And after a while, you had immunity. That's called vaccination, y'all. It's natural vaccination. We weren't allowed to be, oh, I don't want no mayonnaise. I got kids who don't want to eat things. I was like, how the hell you got kids that don't want to eat their vegetables? Man, are you kidding me? You told my mother you going to eat your string beans, you get an extra serving of them. That's how we were raised. But anyway, Brother Harley said, it's the future. It's the future if we want it to be. It's the future if we want it to be. If we don't force these things to occur, it won't be the future. If we don't go look for the Stargate, damn it, it won't be the Stargate at. Because you had your automated house with the Stargate. Why not? Why the hell not? You might want to go to another planet. Y'all need to watch Stargate. I'm trying to tell you, the ancient technology, you think they got on ships and airplanes and flew everywhere? Nope. I think the ancients came here and gave them some Stargates, and they would jump from planet to planet. And that's why when you go to the moon, you see all the dead faces we talked that last weekend. The Mayans and Incas, they built the Stargates and they went there. But anyway, not gonna go there. We're talking about fixing the problems, right? Fixing the people, not messing with the side effects. Mary said, I was a kindergarten dropout, and that's okay. I don't think schools teach you. If schools are just like now indoctrination institutions for teaching people how to work better for the 0.01% and get this thing called a career, which is just cubicle cotton slavery, which pushes other people into slavery, I can't see where school is a good thing. I think schools need to go back to be small, little community-based learning groups where you teach kids how to critically think, teach them how to be functional for their current local economies, not how to make a bunch of stuff to make billionaires, trillionaires. That's what I think. I also think that they shouldn't be given jobs that are useless. Bankers, lawyers, you know, military, all these jobs that don't do a damn thing for humanity. They don't do anything to take us into a good future. All of that needs to get deleted. Everything everybody is trained to do in a school needs to be something that helps us move towards the future, not keep us in the past. We got to get past this Cro-Magnon crap. But there's a let me go down, see more of the comments. With privilege comes negligence. Brother Andrew, spot on. With privilege comes negligence, because we have a lot of privileged people. And I know y'all like to get it. Y'all need to leave the white brothers alone. First of all, y'all need to stop with this crap. Y'all need to stop with this racism and genderism against white males. I hate that mess. Stop that BS, all right? They're poor as we are. You have some that are wealthy, you have some that aren't. The vast majority aren't. So stop that, y'all. We're on one side, we're one team. Privilege comes in all groups, comes in all genders, comes in all races, on all countries. And they'll all sell out the poor in those countries and in those groups. We need to focus on talking about the sellout, right? The 0.01% of every group, and not the people in that group who we need to side up with. So definitely with privilege comes negligence, and that's a nice way to say it. With privilege comes a lust for slaves, right? Becomes a lust for treating people horribly. I was talking the other day about it, and somebody was saying, don't I want to be a billionaire? No, I don't. I've actually found, I used to do pretty well. I worked in corporate America, flew all over the world. I was a consultant, worked for the Fortune 500. I was doing good for myself, but I changed. I think when you find real love, when you find real love for humanity, when you find real love within yourself and you see where that joy comes from, you'll realize it doesn't come from the cars and it doesn't come from the house. It doesn't come from the money. It comes actually from some very simple things. There isn't anything $1 billion can buy me that'll give me any more joy than what I already have right now. So no, I don't want to be a billionaire. And if anybody gave me $1 billion, I'd give most of it away. I ain't no damn fool. I might keep a couple million, but most of it, hell no, I wouldn't keep it. I like to sleep, and when I lay down and I put my head on the pillow, I want to go to sleep. You know, and the only way I'm gonna sleep at night is I know that I'm not complicit with people dying all over this planet. Like, I don't know, I call it crazy if you want. I can feel the energy. I can feel the suffering, which is why I talk about this stuff a lot. I can actually feel the pain around the world. I don't want to be a part of that. So no, I don't want to be a billionaire. I would never take, and if I take it, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna join you guys. Damn it, we're gonna be some billionaires together. Let's go we're gonna fly all over the world, go to the moon, leave these suckers behind. Go ahead and put $1 billion in my account. And most of that money will find itself in the Congo, in Yemen, in Palestine, South America, Puerto Rico. It'll find itself in the Appalachian Mountains. It'll find itself in the ghettos. It'll go right to the people who need it. Because I'm not sick. I'm not sick. I'm not socially and mentally sick like the people who prop this thing up. I mean, I have some sickness. We all have some sickness because we're all in this society. And so, but we can start to walk away from it, right? So it's not a thing of judgment. I don't want anyone, I've never judging anybody. I'm just saying we need to process the reality of the sickness of our society based in our lifestyles and start walking away from it, right? Understand how crazy it is to be liking and sharing all the new cars, liking and sharing the new iPhone, liking and sharing and doing reviews and like propping up a slavery-based forced labor society that's keeping humanity in the Cro-Magnon times, than just being honest and saying we shouldn't be going this way. Maybe I shouldn't live such a fat, lazy, convenient lifestyle. Maybe this is not good for the future. Maybe I love my kids enough that I'm gonna give it up and I'm gonna start getting behind people like Jacques Fresco and the Venus Project and Peter Joseph and the people who actually want to change society to be better for the future. Firestone Tire gets their rubber from slave labor. Yes, Andrew. In fact, there's some good theories. If you talk to people from Vietnam, they'll tell you the Vietnam War actually was about rubber plantations. It was about keeping the slavery going there. It had nothing to do with anything else, but they had slaves on rubber plantation. It was a war for the French, but that's what all of this stuff is. Profit driven. Yes, Jasmine, thank you. It's all profit driven. It's always profit driven. That's why I don't give people the exclusion. They like to say, well, it's utopia. We can't do that, right? It's not practical. Fax machine wasn't practical till it was practical. The wheel wasn't practical till it was practical. See, America wasn't even possible till it was practical. They murder a whole lot of people to do it. But none of these, so the haters, I can't get along with I can't get with the idea, this practical mindset. To me, it's a practical mental illness that you actually think we shouldn't take a step in the right direction because you can't have, you don't have the ability to see into the future. Dreamers make this world go round. Look at Elon Musk, and he's a billionaire, but look at him. Damn it, he done dropped the cost of putting something into space almost to nothing. So much that he's bragging about it that he's got the damn Tesla flying. Go back to the Tesla. So much that he's got the damn Tesla flying in space. God, his Tesla just flying, floating around for 1,000,000 years, you know, bragging about how cheap it is to put things in space, simply because he went and he did what NASA could not do. He went and did in 5 years what NASA couldn't do in 50 years. He made a sustainable space program. You know, and it's so, but this is where we got to go. We got to look towards the future and listen to the dreamers and the people dreaming up a better future, not the politicians that are keeping everybody locked back in the past because they're paid for by the corporations that are making the big money from today. Yes, brother Gerard, economic scarcity is a self-inflicted innovation has made economic scarcity obsolete. Innovation has made economic scarcity obsolete. Spot on as always, brother Kevin. It's innovation and technology has made scarcity a false term. Scarcity does not exist. We have the ability to have abundance in anything and every single thing that we want. There's no reason right now that you can't be driving. You want to drive a Ferrari? You could have one right now. You want to drive a Lotus? There's no reason why you couldn't have one right now, other than you're too busy fighting other people. So the people who make the Ferrari and the Lotus, they don't have to make a whole bunch of them and they don't have to automate it to keep prices high. You know, you put it on the factory assembly line and you can crank them out like we did Sherman tanks in World War II. We just got to have more love in our heart for taking care of kids who pick up guns and do shootings, taking care of kids who are eating mud cakes, taking care of kids in Palestine who go to sleep by candlelight while they have electric wires run into their house because somebody wants to make a lot of money. Brother Harvey, thank you. I've never wanted to... He said he's never wanted to unpluck anything before. Brother Andrew, I can't say that word, unpluck. You know, we gotta unpluck. We gotta unpluck the earth because the earth is plucked. The earth is big time plucked. And our kids are gonna be super plucked. We at least got Vaseline, Andrew. We got Vaseline in the plucking that we're getting right now from corporations and big government. You know, but we need to unpluck it, which is why we gotta go back to creating a smaller government. That's the direction, right? In order for people to have say, the government has to have less say. In order for people to speak about what's needed, the people have to have more rights. They can't lose anymore. Chickens, I was talking about the other day. Chickens are important. You know, if we had a government that actually gave a damn, they'd give everybody a chicken, right? It's just illogical. It is nonsensical that anybody die of starvation in this world. It makes no sense. They can eat chickens. 4 chickens will give you more eggs than what you will ever take care of. And all you got to do is feed them. And they eat bugs on the ground. You know, the most prolific thing on this planet is probably sand and bugs. The chickens will eat the bugs and feed the people, which is why they make the chickens illegal. Think about it. It's like they don't even hide it anymore. In your township, they limit how many chickens you can get, or they say you can't have any because they know that's how people on the farm used to always eat. They used to always take care of the chickens and the chickens took care of them. And then they would grow crops in between and do slaughter a bull or something every now and then. But the point is that survival is very easy. When people are empowered, they can tell their government what they're going to do. But people who are the dependents, they can't tell their government anything. Chickens, man, we got to have, I was talking to somebody yesterday. I said, you know what? There needs to be a class action lawsuit against every township that bans chickens. Everybody who has chickens need to get together and sue them. Sue them for the chickens they took. Sue them for every egg that you ever bought because you couldn't have chickens. Sue them for the pain and anguish and suffering that you just came through because you had to kill your chickens because they said you couldn't have. Everybody needs to have some damn chickens. I want chickens. That's why I like chickens. I don't like chicken though. I know I'm brown, got a shiny forehead, a little sweat every now and then. Nope, I don't eat chicken. I don't eat chicken, but I eat eggs. I do eat eggs. I'm a vegetarian. I eat eggs. But the point is, when you live in a time where people are starving, we have poor white kids starving right now. We got poor black kids starving. We have poor Hispanic kids starving right freaking now. And we're giving $200 billion to go send poor people in the military off to go fight. You know what I did? I was driving this morning. I saw I posted something. I'm not looking at my post this morning. I know everybody mad at me, but I was driving and I saw this young girl. She had on her military uniform. She was getting ready to go. She looked like she was being deployed, had all these bags and stuff, and the family were getting in the car. Looked like they were taking her to be deployed. And I was just sitting here and I think about the people who talk bad about the troops, right? The people who say, well, the troops shouldn't be fighting, the soldiers shouldn't be fighting. And I don't like contradiction. I don't. I know somebody got a friends who say that. Now, don't get mad at me. Just this is how I'm thinking. But at the same time, she was getting dressed and getting deployed, putting her in her camos and getting her stuff, getting her bags and getting in the truck, and they were taking her so she can go to be deployed somewhere in the world to fight for corporations, fight for Wall Street, fight for markets, kill people for Wall Street, kill people for profit. Is that not what every house around her was doing? She was a kid. She couldn't have been 20 years old. But is that not what everybody did today? Got up, brush your teeth, wash your hair, put on a suit, got dressed, got your briefcase. I know we don't have briefcases anymore, but got your laptop and went to work for the same damn corporations that are making money from the same society, if not the same exact corporations that are making money from the war, from the corporations that she's going to fight in, but the same corporations that exist in this society, and they keep it corrupt, buying the governments, because all industries are buying our government. So we can't be hypocrites. If she's going to work, working for the same corporations we work for, we can't judge soldiers. You know, we live in this same sick system that we haven't decided to step away from. Because we're sick and we're addicted to money. We're addicted to wealth. We're addicted to convenience. We're addicted to consumerism. We're addicted to being just lazy. All your grandparents rolling over in the grave, all of mine too, all of them just rolling. What the hell is wrong with these kids? They're just dumb as the days. All right. I'm breaking up, I'm cutting out. Hopefully not. Sometimes I know the bandwidth probably can drop. Did you know Larry King was on is on RT? No, I didn't know Larry King was on RT. Good to know, brother Andrew. Thank you. Love Jock Fresco. So sorry I missed meeting him in person. Yeah, Gabriel Jock Fresco, he was well ahead of his time. That brother, oh my goodness. I mean, I don't think, and every time I watch a new lecture from him, it's amazing how much he got. You know, he reminds me of George Carlin, right? George Carlin was for comedy what Jock Fresco was for futuristic forward thinking. He was so far ahead of his time that people had no idea what he was talking about. I mean, this guy is so brilliant. Every time I rewatch a lecture he gives, I see things I never saw before. I'm like, oh, like he connects together dots long before even the neuroscientists were connecting together the dots of why these mass shootings occur. And like he just hit on so many things. It was awesome. Brilliant man. Let me see what else we got in comments. Then the 1% wouldn't be in charge, right? If people stop fighting each other, trying to take each other's rights, you know, the 1% wouldn't be in charge. If people would stop supporting this sick society and consumerism, they wouldn't be in charge. We would be in charge, and we can dictate for the future what we choose to. Which is why I don't believe in patents. I don't believe in secrets. No corporation should have. Corporations should barely exist. I posted something the other day. Somebody was talking about how corporations came into existence. Did you know initially they were highly regulated, almost banned. You couldn't have a corporation unless you proved that your corporation was good for society. If you couldn't prove the benefit your corporation was providing to society, you couldn't even exist. And so somehow we go from there to now corporations actually have more rights than human beings. Every corporation has more rights than every baby born today. It's insanity. And y'all want me to talk about tweets. Oh Lord, I just want to, like, you gotta get it in your head. You gotta think. What others do, live and let live. Sister Crystal, right? Live and let live. Let people be. Stop blaming inanimate objects and blame the people who are actually causing the problems. Stop chasing the road runner, dummy. You're never going to catch it. The 1% too damn fast. The oligarchs, you think they're going to let you catch them? You think they're going to let you have technology to catch them? You're crazy. These people are too smart. You're going to keep coming up with new ideas. You're never going to get them. I'd love for homes to be self-cleaning. Take my job, please, Jasmine. And they are. Jacques Fresco even talked about that. How the homes are self-cleaning. You know, we got the little vacuum, what are they called? The Rumblers. They can go around now, they can do the vacuuming, but you can build homes that can self-wash themselves. You can build homes that have anti-dust surfaces. You can build homes that have lighting. Like this is very old technology. We do this stuff because it's unsustainable, because in dust and Lysol, and I know who makes mops and brooms and stuff, they make a lot of money selling that crap. They make a lot of money selling chemicals, keeping an unsustainable, and this is why this is all sustainability. We have to build a sustainable government. We have to build a sustainable, we have to keep evolving socially to get to a point where we have a sustainable social mentality, that we're not always attacking other people. We're not always getting behind the side effects. We're not banning cannabinoids, that we're not banning guns. We're not banning inanimate objects. We're not chasing our tails, but we're actually talking real solutions that can work. Crystal's laughing. Yeah, but that was my example. I was thinking of the coyote chasing the roadrunner. It made perfect sense because that's what the UK government's doing with synthetic drugs. That's what pharmaceutical industries do with side effects in drugs. And that's what the doctors do in fighting the immune system. They convinced everybody inflammation is bad, but inflammation is why you're alive. That's your immune system solving a problem. But if they can convince you to attack the side effect, they can make a lot of money. So they attack the inflammation, which means your immune system is taken down. So now you got 8 other ailments, diseases that are coming down the road that you got to buy more medicine for. It's a big scam. That's why I'm saying gun control is a scam, you guys. Focus on real solutions. Stop talking this nonsense. That's why Trump is doing the gun grab. Because we're so stupid, the people on the Trump side, they're not gonna fight the gun grab the same way they would if it was Obama, because they're pissed off at the other side, because the other side is being stupid, fighting the president even when he said smart things. You just fought him because of his skin color, because you don't like him because of your bigotry, when you should be working together with people, right? If the president says something smart, he says tariffs, say that's smart. Pat him on his back, you know? You know, if he says something like war, call him, you're crazy. You're doing the same thing everybody before you did, but we're not smart enough to do that yet because we're still lost in this identity BS, right? And so if you want them to chastise him, they would if they knew you weren't corrupt. But I think there are a lot of moderates, and I know there are an awful lot of moderates that are sliding in the middle because they are saying that every administration is doing the same thing and they're not solving any problems. They're perpetuating the problems because they keep handing down talking points. You're not using any critical thought and you're just running with it. Look for reasons to get together with people. Let's see, back to the grind, Brother Augustine. Yeah, we got to do the grind, but look for your way out, right? If you're locked into one of these forced labor jobs and cotton, what do we call it? Cotton cubicalism. If you're locked in that, look for your way out. You know, go try to find things that you like. Start to take your life down in terms of the necessities. Get you some chickens where you can actually make your eggs. Grow a little food so you don't buy as much. Stop upgrading every phone. Stop buying new. When you start to starve these corporations, they have less money. When they have less money, they can buy less politicians. If they can buy less politicians, the politicians can actually speak for themselves, and they might actually say something that you told them to say. They might actually do something that you voted for them to do. We have to break the system. The system has to fall down. Like brother, what's the brother's name that goes on with Sister Trish? Brother Al always says, this is a looting operation, dummies. It's a looting operation. America is they are looting the country. They have always been looting the country, and they do it. And once they figured out that Americans are so silly and lost in the West and the UK and everywhere else, that they basically, you know, man, this is boring looting these people. These people dumb. They're fighting each other over tweets. Man, we got it. Let's go. I don't know. Let's go loot Israel. Can we take some land from Palestine? Let's go loot the Congo. Can we take some more land from them? Let's go loot in South America. You know, let's go do some disaster capitalism in Puerto Rico. Can we loot from them? And it's just a looting operation because we don't control our government. I was a beauty school dropout. Couldn't live with giving old ladies purple hair. Brother Mark, I didn't know where you're going with that one. Harley, preach, brother. No, I'm not preaching. You know what I'm doing? I'm a parakeet. I'm just repeating what smart people say. Mary said class war. I think I know what you're talking about, Mary. We're not talking about a class war in terms of lower fighting middle, middle fighting upper, or any of that dumb stuff. But it's about the middle, the lower, and most of the upper realizing we don't have any control in any of this, that we've all been played, and shutting down that 0.01% and building something that actually works. Somebody said nullify the system. Yes, I mean, these are ideas that work. We can nullify the federal government back into nothing. That's what they need to be. If we believe that, not even not believe, if you trust what the professionals say, that we are born knowing right from wrong, that children raised in love don't do anything but share love. If we actually understand that, we can embrace that concept. We don't need a big government. Stop supporting big government. We got to start taking money from them. We got to start taking more rights from them and getting, because they never had the right to do the things they're doing anyway. That's why I love nullification. I want y'all to follow 10th Amendment Center, because cannabis was the biggest nullification in our country, and it proved that the federal government doesn't have the right to do any of this. And when states actually do it, we can take it all back. No desire in money, my contribution to saving the world. Yes, Jasmine, and that's a big step on its own. Just needing less money, spending less money, buying things that are local, fixing something. Damn it, I speak your mind. I got a hot water heater I gotta fix. My hot water heater broke. Got some water in the basement, and the hot water heater broke because it has a low thermostat. And I'm like, man, what do you do with this? You look at this big machine. How the hell can I fix this thing? What did I do? The same thing the kids do with guns that y'all trying to ban. You go out to YouTube, you look up 3D printers. So I went out to YouTube, I looked at how to fix a hot water heater, learned how it works, made sense. Oh, damn it, you mean Ted, it's 2 screws and a go out to and place an order on the internet and actually buy a new thermostat and just screw the new thermostat on, and that's it. But there's a little more to that. But the point is that it is actually that simple to fix something instead of just being wasteful and buying another one. Be more capable. There might come a time where you might need to have that skill. That's why I made that vertical axis wind turbine. I was so excited. I was so happy when I saw that turbine spin and the electricity started going. Yes, you can make a Vault wind turbine from a ceiling fan, but you can do these things if you actually want to do them. You want to be capable. You got to be a humanist. Somebody said humanity. You got to be a humanist. I feel bad for having this phone in my hand. I feel bad too, Crystal, but you have the phone in your hand and you can do something powerful with it. You know, I think about it like the kids. You know what? Sometimes you got to look at the kids. Can we look at the kids? You got to look at the kids. When you look at the kids, let me get the picture up. When you look at that's why I like to talk about kids. For me, it's always about children. But when you look at them and you look at what they do to support our lifestyles, it gives you the feelings you need. So these are coltan mine pictures, right? This is coltan. This is where your cell phones came from. I'm gonna do coltan mine kids. Every now and then I gotta look at the kids because that's my motivation. In life, all I care about really is the next generation. When you look at these kids who are actually not growing, but going down into mines, getting the coltan for your cell phones, I mean, you look at it and it hurts, right? You look at the pictures like, man, it hurts. Like we are some slavery loving people. We are. But also, and it's just not, and it's just not coltan. It's tin in South America. So, there's all different types of people who are mining these things for our cell phones. This is why I'm saying that, when people, they got the cell phone in their hand and they start talking about cotton slavery and chattel slavery in the South. Chattel slavery was nothing compared to the evil we do today. Absolutely nothing. So, but what I do is I think about, I already got the cell phone, right? The dirty deed is already done. What I need to do now is use this cell phone in a way that doesn't make things any worse. So I need to use this cell phone in a way that this kid has already picked the coltan, right? It's already done. Dirty deed is out. What I can do now is make sure that I use it so that he doesn't have to pick it again. I can use the cell phone to speak out against the problems that he has to live with. Uh-oh, I'm seeing some stop action. Y'all still hear me? Y'all hear me? Can you hear me? Can I get a thumbs up? I'm seeing some slowness. Okay, it looks better. I don't know if I did that. Was that Max Headroom? Y'all remember him from the 80s? We did that thing. I don't know. That's what it looked like. I was moving around. I was having fun with it. Not what NASA couldn't do, but what NASA wouldn't do. Yeah, NASA. Well, you know what NASA, what is their name for NASA? Never a straight answer. They always lie about it. They always lie about everything. That's why I say, watch the footage. Watch the Tesla footage and take pictures and screenshot the UFOs. We need to wake more people up. We don't actually know what's going on in this world. Where's the love? I think the love is inside, Crystal. I think the love is there. We just don't. The love is buried under anger. The love is buried under angst. The love is buried under this whole left-right paradigm, all of this tribal BS, this black-white, this Asian, Hispanic, this, religious, atheist, like all the, it's buried under all that hate. And I just say we call bigotry what it is. We call tribalism what it is. We call this all racism. And so we got to get rid of that stuff. The love is in people, but we got to bring it out, not bring more to hate out fighting with them. Mary said program, plan scarcity. Yes, and this is what it is. This is artificial scarcity. They make sure we don't have enough of things, and they keep this mess going. And so we can fix people, we can fix society, but we have to focus on these little kids in the coltan mines. We gotta focus on. I want to do another search. It's gonna mess up. Hold on. Let me see if I can close some windows. I know it's acting up. We have to focus on the fact that. Did that help? All right. I have 4 chickens. I'm a vegan. Oh, okay. Well, and it's good to have them. Even if you are a vegan or vegetarian, it's a simple, basic thing our ancestors knew that we don't seem to understand. All right. I'm still seeing some stop action. Let me see if I can reduce some of this, and maybe that'll help. Okay. And chickens bring peace and joy to scratch and peck. Yes, they do. And chickens bring happiness. I love some chickens. Let me see. They allow you to have 5 hens, no roosters. And that's a progressive township, Mary. It's still a tyrannical one. Why in the hell do they hate roosters? Like Brother Ward was like, yeah, I don't want to be woken up by roosters. He posted the other day. I was talking about it. But why don't you want to be woken up by a rooster? Let's think about this. That's the treatment of a side effect. You want to sleep because you don't have the life that you want. You got to get up and go to work next day, or you worked hard that night working for the 0.01%. If we had the Venus Project type stuff going on, we wouldn't have to worry about people hating jobs. They wouldn't have to worry about sleeping in. The roosters the roosters never bothered anybody. What the roosters do to you? The roosters ain't do nothing to you. It was the 1%. They made you work. They put you in forced labor. So Brother Ward, don't hate on the rooster. So there's nothing wrong with having some roosters. Damn it, it's good to wake up in the mornings. Oh, damn rooster. And you'd roll over and go back to sleep. It's no big deal if you don't have to go to the slavery cotton plantation. Let me see. We have 6 we have 6 in the garden where I live now. Brother Mark, I know you got to do some more chicken videos. Brother Mark's gonna explain to y'all. Y'all don't know Mark. Walk, walk. Follow Mark. I don't know how to pronounce your last name. Seacrest. He's got chickens. He talks about them all the time. Explains you how to take care of them. And we kill. God bless America. We are the world's best death dealers. We are, Jimmy. Which is why, like I said, when Christ comes back, I ain't going to be standing nowhere near the Christians. When they come back, shoot, if Allah come back first, if they not the same guy, they probably the same alien. But whenever they come back, I'm going to go stand next to Buddhists and the Buddhist people. Tao is somebody. I might be with the atheists first. And after they didn't go through and just judge all them, I'd be like, the only man in the hand with atheists. Oh, was this the atheist line? Jesus, I was over here. I'm sorry. Can yeah, I believe in you. Yep, I don't believe in murder. I don't believe in that. I ain't killed nobody, Jesus. I told him the whole time. I told him, stop with the consumerism, Jesus. I told him, stop buying that crap. I didn't buy all them new cars and houses. Jesus, I said they was putting your kids in slavery, Jesus. That's what I told them. They didn't want to listen. I said, read the Bible. They didn't even know where the Bible was. They got the Holy Ghost in church all the damn time while everybody getting murdered. Oh, gosh. All right. I don't know how people make the relationships that they do, make the attachments. Anyway. Oh yeah, Mary's talking about different types of chickens. Yeah, and actually there's some real sexy chickens too. They got some of the little chickens with the little tuft on their head and the big furry ones. They got classy, sexy chickens, yo. If y'all one of those consumerism type people, the little dainty, always, just dainty. They got dainty chickens, man. They got pretty. The ones I saw, they were pretty. They got chickens that just look like they just walked out of Beverly Hills somewhere. They got all kind of chickens. Y'all don't have to get the Purdue chickens. There's a whole bunch of different type of chickens out there. My daughter has chickens. We deep in the chicken. People love chickens. We deep in the chicken discussion. A Foghead Leghorn. I got to post some of his stuff. We are number one. We spend it. We achieve the ultimate human horror. Ooh, Jimmy, you just come with the power words. And you're right. We have achieved the ultimate horror for the human race. And I'm glad that you have a way with words, because it's good to hear it that way. It's good to really take in how bad we actually are. And when you really know how bad you really are, then you know you got to change, y'all. And we have to change. If we don't change, then nobody will ever figure out who made them damn wheel tracks. I'm trying to tell you, man, it's aliens. I had to go back to Andy. Like, y'all should follow Alexander Coltipan. I think that's his name. I had to post a link. Aliens that made the wheel tracks, man. I'm trying to tell you. I'm not listening. Wood carts don't make wheel tracks in stone. Not one wood cart. Sadly, our physical inclination of our five senses, we account for conditions reducing them to automatic processing. We must discipline ourselves to activate cognitive consideration for our daily experiences. Brother Kevin, yes, absolutely. We must discipline ourselves. But in that discipline, it begins with accepting what Brother Jimmy just said, is that this is evil. It's not normal. It is not normal to start a war. It's not normal to talk about nuclear proliferation while you're upgrading nukes. It's not normal to talk about small nukes. It's not normal to talk about killing people and taking their resources. It's not normal to talk bad about the soldiers while we're going to work for the same corporations. None of this is normal. All of this is horrible. Chattel slavery, those people had much more ethics than what we do today. Completely. That's why I don't even want to hear anybody talking about it. We are the most evil people going, and we refuse to see the actual truth. And I think when we can swallow that truth, Brother Kevin, that's when we can make that decision to employ that discipline that, yeah, I'm going to stop doing this stuff. I'm going to stop supporting this lifestyle. This lifestyle is the worst thing going. When were corporations highly regulated? Sister Joyce, I posted a link. There was a good brother talking about the history of corporations. I'll post it again if you want, or you can go down my timeline. It's about 2 days ago. They kind of talked about in the beginning in America how corporations were highly regulated, that you actually, they had almost no rights. They could barely exist. They viewed corporations as the kings and the lords. They viewed them as they should. These things are highly dangerous. And so to incorporate, you had to prove a benefit to society. And slowly they bought legislation. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, 2018, they own the entire United States of America. I want to know how they figured that a corporation is a real person. It's an inanimate object. Yes, Kathy, it is an inanimate object. It's a horrible, evil monster of an object that its bottom line is profit, which is perhaps why they were highly regulated. They understood the risk of that time. But when people aren't watching their government, when they're trusting it instead of this lying entity that works for markets because the corporations bought them, then yeah, they could write into law that they have more rights than people, that they actually are people, and that's where we are. We got to get away from this. We have to rescue the world, y'all. This is how we rescue the world. We get our government back. Let me go down and see some other comments people haven't heard from. I can't see everybody's comments. If I'm not saying your comment, like I said, don't be mad. They don't get to show me all the comments for whatever reason. I only see some of them, but the rest I see later. Went minimalist and vegan to do my bit to save the world. Just wish I had started sooner. Sister Sharon, yes, that's what we have to do. Look at minimalism. You can be a minimalist. All of our ancestors were minimalist. They weren't wasteful. I hate the word minimalist though, because it makes it sound like you're starving yourself or something. And that's not it. It's just not being wasteful. Like our ancestors did it because they were poor and there wasn't great abundance. We do it because I think we're sick and we want to live like kings and lords. We worship the billionaires instead of loving our kids in the future more. But definitely start going down that path of minimalism. Don't be so wasteful. Use it to bring awareness. Yes, I agree. Y'all agree. Y'all agree so much. Everybody all agreeing because y'all know, y'all get it. It's the other people that don't seem to get it. Having to be right or have an upper hand. Ew, Jennifer, yes. And that is a sickness. That is a serious social sick mental illness, which is why we don't fix people and we're not fixing society. We're blaming inanimate objects because people want to be right. Right? Because there's a psychological thing, right? Like when this sick psychopath of a government hands down gun control to someone and you've been fighting your brother and your sister and your friends and everybody for 20 years on, we gotta gun control, we gotta. It builds up this psychological condition where you just have to be right. You can't be wrong. And so shooting after shooting after shooting after shooting after shooting after shooting, you can't stop. And you're convincing yourself that, oh yeah, I'm gonna help the kids. This is for the kids are dying. We gotta keep doing it. And you keep doing it and nothing ever happens. It never works. You know, it's that psychological psychosis. The coyote always knew it was right. He just kept going after the road run. I'm gonna get it this time. I'm gonna get it this time. I'm gonna get it this time. And we gotta stop. We gotta stop. You know, it's our society that are sick. It's like I was posting something. It's like, yeah, there are a lot of victims. And people, they're debating whether or not we know the truth on all the shootings. I'm not there. To me, like I said, it doesn't matter. What matters to me is we know things happen. Bad things happen. Calamities happen. You can pick and choose which ones you think are real. I'm good with that. It's not interesting. It's not important to discuss that. It's important to discuss why children are victims of other children who are also victims, right? You are a product of your environment. One thing Jacques Fresco said that was pretty deep. He said everything a human being does is legal, right? It's legal from a human, environmental, biological, epigenetics, environment perspective. Because everything a human being does, it's about survival, for the most part. It was raised that way in that environment, became that thing, and these are the right things that you do in these situations, and they do it. But they get you to blame the kid. They get you to blame the gun. They get you to blame the NRA. They get you to blame the drug dealer. They get you to blame the synthetic drug maker that's not a pharmaceutical company. They get you to blame the compound. And so you're constantly blaming these things that you couldn't possibly ever fix. And that's how they make money. They keep you on stupid ideas. Kathleen said, there's no scarcity on guns. Nope. There's no scarcity on guns. And I don't think there ever will be. I think, Kathleen, I think it's just this big, nasty fix of a monster. And we don't ever know the truth, so we never really know anything. But like, they flood America with guns, but they try to get Americans to fight over guns. They have the war on drugs, which means you got to have more guns, but they keep saying gun control, and they just keep everybody fighting over this. The NRA makes more money because more people sign up, more people buy guns, the industry does more, it pays the NRA more, and the problem never is the guns. The problem is always the people. And so everybody gets so emotionally invested in it, they can't actually see that they're not ever going to solve the problem. Kids will always make a blow dart gun. They'll always 3D print a gun. Kids are kids. They're going to do it. Our society's moving forward. It's like that embassy and where was it? Where was that embassy where they had the they were attacking the ambassadors with it was a wave weapon, right? It was like they made this wave, I think it was Colombia, and they focused it on the American embassy, and everybody was getting headaches and their neurological damage and stuff. And they found out, or they never found the device, but they realized that somebody actually, it was some sort of a terrorist attack where they were using a some sort of a wave generator. There's always going to be a new weapon. You'll never ban all of them. Fix the people. Stop invading the country. Colombia's got a great reason to hate us to do that. You can say, oh, you horrible Colombian terrorists, but they have a reason. We murdered hundreds of thousands of them. Damn it, Chiquita Banana alone murdered tens of thousands and destroyed entire towns for the land to make banana plantations. This is legal, and it's all information. I mean, this was proven in a court of law. This Cuba, thank you, and it's all documented. You know, and it makes no sense to me, but it's the same thing. You know, we're not blaming, and even in that case, you can blame Chiquita Banana. And what's that going to do? They paid a fine. They still own all the banana trade in every grocery store all over America for the most part. Instead of going after the root cause. Maybe it shouldn't be legal to make money if people are dying. Maybe greed shouldn't be possible. Maybe corporations shouldn't exist, not in the model they are today. Maybe there should be an extent to how much profit a corporation should make, and the rest goes back to society. This gets to universal basic income and the stuff that y'all hear about. You want to fight right away before you even understand it, right? Getting corporations to take their excess, and instead of buying yachts for CEOs, you work on automation for the Venus Project. Let's go back to the Venus Project, right? So all of this stuff works together, but people have to read. People have to listen. Listen to people a hell of a lot smarter than you, hell of a lot smarter than me. Listen to the Jacques Frescos. Listen to the people who planned all this stuff out. It was Cuba. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I said it was Cuba. I mix them together. It's so many colonies America has. We invaded, murdered, and killed, death, destroyed so many people. Sometimes I mess up. I mess up a lot. I mess the names up. Brother Glenn is in the house. Good morning from Sugar House, Woodshed in Vermont. We are boiling. Yeah, I love me some Vermont. It's cold though. Y'all got to get a heater up there or something. Y'all got to fix your weather. I love to go up to Vermont, but man, it's cold up there. That's actually how I got in the chicken conversation, Brother Glenn. It was a couple who moved from Vermont, where there's a lot of freedom, y'all. They free in Vermont. There's a lot of freedom in Vermont. You might actually feel like you're free in Vermont. You can build houses you want. You can have chickens do whatever you want. And I think they moved to New York. They moved to upstate New York, and they can't have chickens. They live in one of the 2 townships that can't have chickens. And that's how that whole discussion started. I was like, why in the hell would you move from a free state to, you know, a state that has like crazy laws and tyrannical, unconstitutional everything? Y'all need to use nullification and get rid of these chicken laws, man. I don't know why y'all always attacking nature. I'll be with the indigenous. Crystal said, yeah, be with the indigenous or the Amish. That's what'll happen. Bad times come, I'm gonna disappear. I got a lot of Amish friends. I'll be out there with them. Shoot, can you call me Gerard Tunstall? Think I won't? Shoot, man, I'll be right out there. They got food, they got water, they know how to take care of themselves. They're not dumb, cripple, crazy, stupid. They got other stupid stuff that they do, but that's okay. Call me, I'll be Gerard Tum. I'll be Gerard Tumstum. All right, that's bad. I'm sorry. Christ will probably come back and say he's not a Christian by today's standards. Sharon, he's not by today's standards. That's why I say most people who wear that label, they have no idea what Christ even said, let alone what they're supposed to do. So I don't, you know, my association is I'm kind of to the side. I'm gonna be snickering behind the curtain on the when it's time to go to the pearly gates. No, I'm gonna be standing. Do Christians even read the Bible? Brother Harley said, most don't. I'm gonna go out on the edge, brother. I'm gonna go ahead and put them on blast. No, they don't. They don't read the Bible, obviously, because look what they support. That should tell you everything you need to know. They go and it's good music in the church. You're feeling the Holy Ghost. You're dancing, you're singing, you got to get your thing on, but they don't read a damn thing. And unfortunately, that's the majority. But you know, the funny thing, Harley, is the Bible actually says that. That'll be a fun thing you can talk to your Christian friends about. The Bible actually says that most Christians are not going to heaven. The vast majority are not, because the vast majority aren't Christians. Christ wasn't stupid. He knew that stuff a long time ago. He's an alien, man. I'm trying to tell you, he knew stuff he wasn't supposed to know. But but no, it said the path to hell is going to be a highway, and the path to heaven is going to be like a little walking path. Very few people apparently going to that, getting up in the UFO to go to that pearly gate, because most Christians they're lost, and you can tell it. I mean, the idea that they felt they had to get behind Zionists, not Jewish, there's a difference, because they're Christian, it's insanity. They actually don't read their Bibles. We aren't allowed to have roosters in my town because they might disturb others when they crow in the morning. But the neighbors have dogs. Oh, Mark, all day and night. Hypocrisy. Good point, Kathleen. Kathleen, I called him out. Called him out on some dogism. No, chickenism. That's chicken, like race, like chicken racism. Called him out on it. You're right. You know, it's just like, why in the world would you come down on chickens like that? Leave them alone. Chickens been crowing since the beginning. But that's how it always is, Kathleen, isn't it? There's always some hypocrisy. They talk out of this side of their mouth, but they do something else over there. It's always some BS. Good point. We live in a country full of food shelves while people starve right outside the doors. We have thousands of empty hospital beds while thousands are dying of treatable diseases. Yes, brother Kevin, you got eyes, man. That's your problem, Kevin. That's your problem. You got eyes, man. Stop looking so much. Stop looking. You can see homeless people. You can see sick people and starving people. You got a heart in your chest. It's beating. Got warm blood doing this. Kevin, that's your problem, man. Why do you care so much? Go out, buy yourself a Benz, brother. Man, get a job. Get a career. Go make some money. Don't look at the kids eating mud cakes. I got to look at the kids eating mud cakes now. We talked about some mud cakes. People don't believe the kids eating mud cakes. I want to see some kids eating mud cakes. Why I want to see the mud cake? Because sometimes people don't believe you. I'm going to do a search. Kids eating mud cakes. You don't believe it's real? You don't believe it's true? Why do children eat mud cakes? Because you eating steaks and shrimps. While you're talking about chattel slavery. You eating steaks and shrimps. Wow. Look at this right here. Look at this. Y'all look at this right here. Look at this. There's a comedian who said it. These are kids eating some damn mud cakes. And the parents make the mud cakes because it fills up their bellies. Why do they do this? Because y'all too busy worried about some damn tweets. Y'all too worried that they're going to take the guns. Y'all too worried trying to take the guns. And kids are doing this. They always keep you going left while they go right. They're always faking you out. They always make you go this and think about this and do this. And you never focus on the root cause. When you solve the problem with people, you solve the problem with our culture, you fix the problem everywhere in the world, right? So I was thinking about the other day, you know, the petrodollar is going on. And so how does America make amends for all the crap that we've done? We take the petrodollar and actually use it for the world, right? We take our ability to print all the money that we want. And instead of making massive metal machines to go around the planet and murder the world, we turn America into the Venus Project. We dump all that money in the automation of home creation, 3D printing mansions for people. We maximize the efficiency of solar panels. We put wind turbines everywhere. We take America off of petroleum oil. We manufacture cars in an automated way, the same way we did with the World War II Sherman tanks, but we do it completely automated. And we take people and we get them out of this forced labor, chattel slavery-like environment where their kids are locked into forced labor as well. And we show the world, look at what we can do. This is what we can do. And then we do it for them. Why do we do it for them? Because they paid for it. They paid for it with their lives, just like our ancestors did. They died so one day we could grow the hell up and deploy a solution and prove to the world that no, you don't have to live in a forced labor society. We can raise kids to be phenomenal thinkers and have phenomenal lives where they're not forced into careers to work for the 0.01%. We can do it. You just got to grow the hell up. You got to stop fighting with your neighbor over his rights. You need to let your neighbor keep his rights. You need to focus on root cause problems. Focus on the root cause. When you so I was thinking, I'm always thinking, drink too much coffee this morning, but it's Friday. There is no such thing as a solution if you don't know the root cause of the problem. Like we talk about solutions and we let people say side effect treating is a solution. I think we stopped doing that. I think we don't, I just think we call it bull shizzle right from the beginning. If you don't know the problem, it's not a solution because it's not really a solution because they deploy a side effect to a side effect. They take the guns, they create another problem. They deploy the side effect. They give you a synthetic drug to treat your inflammation, but then another problem. And so you're actually creating another problem. It's not a solution. If you don't have the root cause, and if your problem, your solution actually doesn't fix the root cause of the problem, it's not a solution. It's just bull shizzle. That's all it is. From the bottom to the top, from the top to the bottom. Don't make me dance on Bernie's shoulder. All right. I love it. Y'all are so smart. That's why I love talking to y'all. Y'all get it. Y'all get it, but go out and give it to other people. Don't just, we can get it as a community here, but you got to go out and give it to other people. You might have to spoon feed them, but we got to get to a point where people are no longer cheering Fox News and CNN and the Washington Post and all the lies and BS that they give people to keep people, going left while they're faking right, faking them out, making them look like fools. We got to get smarter than this, but we got to go talk to other people in order to do that. Too soon, too late. Kathleen said too soon old, too late smart. Too soon old, too late smart. I think you're trying to say that we a little too late, well, the thing is that the smartness is these people were smart long ago. They knew all of this long ago. That's why all of the people who came before us, they were sustainable. They lived lives based in sustainability. It's only now that we embrace these things that aren't sustainable. Banks become stronger, the kings and queens too, at some time. Yeah, they do, because we're still, Brother Harley, we're still supporting it. We're still backing it. You have money in banks, maybe you shouldn't have your money in banks. Everybody's got to find their own solution. Maybe you take your money out and you buy solar panels. Maybe you take your money out, you buy wind turbines. Maybe you throw them in a warehouse. Maybe you sell them for, you create a little wind turbine business. You throw them all in, your savings, your 401k, all of that stuff. Maybe you take it out of the bank. You buy a bunch of wind turbines from a local company, hopefully a company that's in the nation that you live. You stick them in a warehouse, but you start a business with it. You buy them all wholesale, stick them in that warehouse, and you sell them retail to people as they need them. It's like an investment that you'll never lose. You slowly sell them. The bad times come. Guess who gets to save your neighborhood? You do. Imagine what will happen if all your neighbors have power when the power goes out. World War III starts because America does a bloody nose strike to North Korea, and China jumps in, and Russia jumps in with them, and Iran jumps in with them. Pakistan with 100 nukes jumps in with them, and we're in a worldwide war, and the power shuts off in America, and you got a warehouse that's full of wind turbines. You give one to all your neighbors. All your neighbors have power. Imagine that. So now they can cook, they can eat. They're not coming to rob you. And if anyone comes to the neighborhood, you got a strong community that's self-sufficient. Like, I think there are a lot of things, and that's just one thing. I mean, it can be seeds, it can be anything else, but maybe we take our monies out of the banks and we stop supporting this crazy stuff. True, it all comes back to people waking up. By our silence, we give them our permission to do whatever they want. Yes, we do. Our silence is consent. It is absolutely consent. And what we're a big nation of 240 million people who stand by and just watch the world be raped. And I don't think it's a wise thing to walk by an alleyway and watch somebody being raped. I think that's a bad thing. They normalize that. All right. Let me get down to the bottom. Last couple comments. Cause my butt hurt, man. I'm sitting on this hard chair. I know it looks like I'm in the Venus Project, but I'm not. I'm sitting on a hard wooden chair. Man, my sciatica act up again. Man, I'm not told you, I'm an old dude. Last couple comments. I'm gonna walk off of here. Reading and comprehending are two separate things. They may read it, but they simply use it to reaffirm already placed beliefs. Yes, they do, Jennifer. And it's like Jacques Fresco. You can hear him, but do you hear him? It's like George Carlin. You hear him, but do you listen to them? Are you processing it? Are you changing your life based on some truth? But also picking for a sustainable change, a change that works for you, a change that works for your family, not, you know, how I do it doesn't necessarily work for you, but we all have to pull away at some point. I will see other comments from people I haven't seen anything from, and then I'm gonna go. I had 14 roosters once. My neighbors hated me. That's okay, Eve. It's called conditioning. You're conditioning back to being human. Go get up in the morning. You know, you're conditioning them. Then they shouldn't be mad at you and your roosters. They should be mad at themselves and the career they chose, that they got to go work in plantation, cubicle cotton slavery. Sister Deborah, yeah, that's a roosterism. Go get them. Let me go down. Let me see if I missed anybody. Whole bunch of comments. I know, but I don't want to focus on the same people. Y'all always got delicious stuff. I want to make sure I recognize everybody. The comments I can actually see. What is sin? That wisdom is wasted on the old. Yeah, it is a sin. That wisdom is wasted on the old. And it's a sin also, like we were talking about yesterday, that we got these conditions like Alzheimer's and things that modify their brain function. We drug them up in the end of their lives. We do experiments with them with the medical industry, and they actually can't pass on that last bit of knowledge. But every now and then, Sister Mary, you know, with this old dude, old woman, she's got enough knowledge, got enough sense in her head, and worked on a black budget project that nobody else knew about. And what do they say? Aliens are real. Listen to your elders, man, and bless you. Go out on YouTube, do a search for deathbed alien confessions. Do a search for classified project confessions, and you'll see the old people on their deathbed before they die. Beep, beep, beep. There's aliens everywhere. We seen them. I worked with them. I named one of them Roderick. Oh, there's so much truth out there. We don't get to know anything. All right. Last couple comments. Hemp rules, nature wins. When hemp rules, nature wins. Yes, when nature rules, we all win. Brother Tom, hear me now, listen to me later. Hans in France. Yes. Or the other philosopher. I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. And that's what we do. We are kicking the can down the road, and we're forcing our children to actually fix the problems we caused. We spilled the milk in the kitchen. We know how to clean it up. We got the common damn sense to clean it up, but we refuse. Examine your own heart. Ask yourself, why do you take the positions you do? Ask yourself, do you know the facts to take those positions? Ask yourself, do those solutions actually fix the root cause of the problem, or are they just the standard narrative of the tribal people you're standing next to? It's a Friday. Enjoy your Friday, people. It's a non-forced labor day, last day, come to an end. You feel good at the end of the day because you can walk away from slavery. But keep in mind, a lot of people aren't walking away from it. A lot of people are trapped in the countries that are supporting our unsustainable lifestyles in the West. We got to start to work together, focus on fixing our people, focus on fixing the kids, focus on fixing our culture, because our culture is sick, and then building a tomorrow that actually works, where we actually can be respected in the world again. We actually are adding something positive to the world again, because we can move this country to a place, and even in the UK and Europe, the West, move into a place that is a position of respect, a position of even apology to the rest of the world for the lifestyles we lived and the misery they lived under, by listening to brothers like Jacques Fresco. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, listen to Jacques Fresco. I posted one of his interviews from 1974 this morning. I'll post some stuff later, but listen to people with solutions and stop listening to people who don't have any damn solutions, because the people they get their talking points from are psychopaths. Find some friends, make some allies, make sure they're commoners, and stop working for the 0.01%. They are not your friend, and like Ty says, they don't care how you die. Y'all have a great day. Happy weekend. Bye-bye.